Happy New Year. How have you been? I've been good myself, and I really missed us here. This is our year. I'm so excited and I'm so happy that I'm here and sharing it with you. It's been a nice year and we are starting it in style, and that is why we are here. And today we are talking about a woman, and anybody who knows me would tell you that Shiro loves talking about women, because I know women have a strength that it's a very special strength, you know. And if we have a woman in the society, it's the best thing we will ever choose to have. And yeah, today we've come to do that exciting topic about a woman that I do love, and I'm excited to start it. And becoming the beginning of this year, we need to talk as women, you know. We are talking about like resolution, the position of a woman. We are starting this year in style because we want us as women to also know what is there that we want to change, what do we want to add, and we also need to know the focus that we are taking as we begin this year. So join us, and with us we are joined by a very good friend of mine. She's Judy, and she's a woman who loves, you know, talk of a woman empowerment. She's the right person, and she's the right person for this show. Kindly let me introduce her. Welcome so much, Judy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here.
Thanks. Yeah.
And I know there's a lot that we are going to talk about.
Sure.
Before we continue, say something.
Yeah, my name is Judy Toyo.
Yeah.
I'm the current president, the chairperson of Kiriri Women's University of Science and Technology. It is the student body known as KUSA. Yeah, and I'm so passionate about everything about women because I'm a woman too.
Yeah,
yeah. Sure. And I love working with women. I love working with women, and I love being in an organization or in a talk formal setup of about women, because women are very, very vital key in the society.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and you are just the right person doing this show with you. It's so nice. Keep this conversation running, because she's going to have, she has her own story, and she's so much in politics actually, and her story inspires me so much, which I would also want to share with you. So tune in, stay tuned, comment, leave all the comments and anything you would want us to talk about. Our social media handle, we are GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. As your host, Shiro Wangige, I want to start this show very well, starting to know who is Judy, you know. Tell us who is Judy, and because we would want to know why you, and why are you so passionate about women, you know. Because I know you, and I've known you so much concerned with women's issues and empowerment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love working with women because now if we start, I've been a women's institution, so which mold me much more into being a great woman in the society. Yeah, so there I've been working with the women for 4 years.
Yeah, wow.
So being around women, being in class, being in a meeting, being around in the politics, so maybe being in factions, there's quite a lot of having women around me.
Wow. And now that you're a leader,
and now that I'm a leader too, so you just have to work with the women and of different ages. You get to understand them and you get to work with them.
Let us hear your view when we talk about the position of a woman in the society, in the today's society. What is your view on that?
The position of a woman, we can't trace it as back maybe 10 years back or 15 years back. There's quite a change in the position of a woman in the society.
Sure.
But being African, also a woman also is not given that much priority. As much as things are changing and there's at least women are now coming out, more women are coming out. But now here comes when women are out here and women are, when you sit in a meeting, how are women, or how are your views being taken? And especially when you are a young woman. You know, when you are a young woman, it is believed that you are not supposed to speak in front of your elders, that there are some things that you are not supposed to speak
or rather even do or lead people,
or lead people. You see, now you being a young woman, you're like, no, you are not supposed to talk, or when you talk, you're going overboard. You see, but there's this, you are a woman and you're molded with a woman who is a bit older than you, so you take much from them.
You learn much, and you become even better than them.
You even become better than them. So even to a point, you know, women, we also don't like when we are, somebody is trying to be above us. So we kind of be defensive in it. So I think that is the part where we also need to work with the women who are coming down. How can they defend, or how can they present themselves, or how can they give out their views without having the fear of somebody will see that you're so young, you even talk.
You know, especially I like where you're touching, the society somehow does not give a path to people who are younger than them, especially you're very young, not even married, and you see, and guys, she's going to vie for NCA, she will tell us more. And now that inspires me to even ask and want to know more. How have you, now you've been in leadership for quite some time, I believe there are some people who are above you and you're leading them. How has it been? Has it been easier, you know, leading a person who is like 30, 40, you're the leader? Do they submit? Do they give you a peaceful working environment?
But I think what I can say, I'm lucky enough because the people who are bleeding are a bit younger than me. And now the people who maybe I'm representing the issues of students too are older than me. You see? So you know, when you come out as a student leader or as a student representative, and you are to talk and to represent the school, and also to raise the issue that affects students. So the people who are above you, how do they take it? So that has been a great challenge, because somebody sees and feels like you're not supposed to tell them this, and you're not supposed to come, you're not supposed to go overboard. You are a lady, you know, being a lady, somebody portrays like you're supposed to be told, and you're like, okay, let's just do it. But when you are that woman and somebody tells you something and you're like, no, this is how we're supposed to do it, now you become a threat. And
they start saying power in a woman.
There's also that point, you know, when you find a woman who is with that kind of boldness, because I can say that my courage and my boldness now came from right from my childhood, because where I was raised and I was coming up just as a young girl. So it's a place where you had to be so much courageous, and you also had to at least defend yourself. So
survival for the fittest.
Survival for the fittest. You see, So you know, you come out to be somebody so totally different. So you always know, like, when it's here, you don't need to cross my boundaries, because I won't cross yours.
And then they brought up a strong woman. Talking about Judy and all that, why are we going that way? Because Judy has a story behind her, which we want to know, and that is why we are touching a bit about now what you are and now your story. Tell us a bit about your story. Let my viewer also know what is the story behind Judy.
Judy was a young girl who was raised and brought up in Korogocho, Huruma. I was born at Huruma Nursing Home. We lived at Korogocho, Kisumu Ndogo. Then later on we shifted to Gomongo. So that is where a greater part of my childhood I was at. And I was brought up to be a very complete young girl, beautiful. And I was so passionate into modeling and dancing.
Do you
So I really loved that. Yeah, a bit.
Okay.
So reaching in my Form 1, we okay, in class 8 my grandma wanted us to go home, so I went and did my class 8 up country, then joined Form 1, where I was later on supposed to go to a boarding school, but due to before I went to boarding school, that was in 2007, and there was the election violence. Yeah, so that is the period that my illness began. So I started experiencing some pain on my knee, and I fell down, and after that my knee was never my knee again. So it started swelling, started having some pain.
So it was just something that started instant?
Yeah, it just started instant.
It's not something that you had before before Form 1?
No. Yeah,
your right knee?
Yeah, it's on my right knee. So it's something that just began while I was in Form 1. So at the peak of my life, where I loved dancing, and I knew that I was going to model. I was a very tiny girl by that time. Yeah. So when the pain began, we never knew what was wrong. So my mom just thought that maybe I just slept and just did some rubbing of my knee, and they saw that the swelling was persistent. So I went.
So the knee was painful and started swelling?
Started swelling, yeah. So we went to a mission hospital. It's called, I think it's at Uriri. So when we went there, we were given some medicine, and I tried using them, but it was still there. So I did go through a lot of hospitals. I did take a lot of medicine. They didn't know what was the problem.
Bado wanakuangalia.
Yeah, bado wanaangalia. You're told that use this, it will be okay. Use this, it will be okay. Days are going, the pain is increasing. To an extent, I took a lot of medication, and I was like, no, just let me now rest.
Now, that time, are you still walking? Are you able to walk?
At that time, now I'm not able to walk. I'm using crutches because now my knee is swollen. So most of the time I was using crutches, and I'm limping.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit.
So you are not in school anymore?
Now I had to drop. Well, in the beginning of my first term in Form 2, that was in 2008. So I had to drop.
So after going to these many hospitals?
So after going into these many hospitals, doing medication, and then I went back to Kenyatta. First time I went to Kenyatta, and they told me that they were going to amputate my leg. And I was like, Mom, I'm not going to sleep here.
Let me ask you, when they scanned you, did they do scans and all
Yeah, they did
things?
a lot of scans.
They said, what was the problem?
By then, they never detected what the problem was, because they saw there's something on my knee, but they don't know what is wrong with my knee.
Okay.
So it was not clear on what was happening.
And they were talking of amputation?
They were talking of amputation. So I was like, you can't just amputate me, and yet you still don't know what is wrong. Okay. So I was fighting back because I wanted to walk again. I never wanted to have my leg amputated.
And then you are a young girl.
Yeah, you are a young girl with the dream of being a dancer.
And especially you want to model.
And you also want to model. You really need that leg.
Sure. No, don't tell me about
no, don't tell me about amputation. Okay. So that is when I told my dad, let's go back home, and then he said that we'll go the next day in the morning for theater. But me, I said I'm not going. Okay. So we started again medication from different hospitals, different herbal clinics, but it never happened. So later on, it's when we went to a lady who was our neighbor, referred us to a doctor who was an Indian. We went there, he looked at my knee and just told us that we have to go back to Kenyatta. So I was like, when somebody told me that I'm going back to Kenyatta, this is a sentence.
Unajua ni nini unaendea.
So I just know what I'm going, and I was like, okay, no, this Kenyatta again. I just said, okay,
but you're still in pain.
I'm still in pain. I can't. There's a moment where my parents had to do for me everything, and there's a time that I used to be with my aunt. So my aunt had to take me to the washroom, bath me, bring me back, did everything for me. Yeah, she was very supportive, and now she used to help my mother. So they were interchanging until now. The time now I was just with my mother, so she used to do everything for me. Yeah, because the pain was too much. So there came a time now at least I was able to try and do something, because now if you're sick and you're just sitting, you become more sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, you don't want your mom to go into that so much
a lot of
depression. What is happening with my girl?
Being the firstborn in the family too. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was trying, at least you're trying to do a bit things, kidogo, but so that time when we went to Kenyatta, I went with my dad. So we sat there the whole night, and then we were admitted, and then he went and then left me there. So that is where the journey now started. So we were in the hospital, and I was supposed to go for theater.
It's concluded. Tumefika mwisho.
I have to go for theater.
And sahizo wamejua what is happening. Ama bado wanasema hawaelewi ni nini.
Bado hawaelewi ni nini, because they were speculating that it might be cancer or something. But if it's cancer and it has been here for 4 years, and I'm not having any wound in it, so they were like, no, this is something else. So they told me, I think it's a bone tumor. So I had to go for a test. Now for them to do a biopsy where they take a bit of the
bone marrow.
So that they can go look at it, like what is really happening. So the first time when I was supposed to go for theater, I know when you're going for theater, you don't eat for the entire day. Like if it's today, if it's tomorrow, I won't eat supper until
tomorrow, until the time now they're taking you for surgery.
After surgery, that's when I'll take something. Yeah, so I only take breakfast, I don't take lunch and supper, you see. Yeah, so I waited for my theater. No. The next day in the morning, I was supposed to go for theater at around 10. But they never came to pick me. Okay. So I was like, what is happening? It's 1. You are like, what is happening? It's 10.
And you're still alone?
And no, we were in the ward.
Okay.
Yeah, I was already admitted.
Yeah.
So I'm like, am I really going? So my mom had to go ask. And now later on at 4, it's when they're telling us that just tell her to eat, she won't be able to go for theater. And
are you serious?
You've been angry for all this time.
I've starved since Jana, and then Saindi mnaniambia, let me go and take something.
Let me just go take something. And you know that you're still also in pain.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, this is not right. And we just sat, and that was the day where there were a lot of casualty down there, and all the people went for operation in the theater died.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
So at that point I said that God knew why I never went to the theater.
Yeah, that is why he never wanted you to go
witness that, or maybe something might happen.
Okay.
And I was like, that is the day when my mom, his mind never worked. From the time that he was out of that hospital, and until the time that her friend had to come and look for her. Because now I just changed once. I was so pale, very much confused, because I felt like I'm going to die. So my mom was also worried because of that. So the next time we scheduled again another appointment for theater. But the doctor used to come around, and I kept insisting that I'm not losing my leg. You're not going to cut my leg.
Okay, you had not come to terms that you're taking out your leg, like sasa
unaipoteza, bado sikukubali, because I just wanted them wanitibu waseme this and this is what is wrong, because my mind was like wanaweza toa tu kitu nyiko hapo ndani, then I just iishe tu nitembe. But no, they were like, no, this thing you have to undergo amputation.
So you're still
like, no.
neglecting this the truth of the matter?
Yeah, that I'm going to lose my leg. And it was really hard for me. So they came the second time, and I was to go. Then that point I reached at the door and I was told that my BP was down, like my blood was below 7, so I can't undergo any surgery.
Now go, okay.
Yeah, and my bones are very weak. So I had to go back, take a lot of fruits.
Oh my God. At that time, what are you feeling? Because you were informed too.
Yeah, I was informed too then.
And you can understand yourself and every feeling that comes. What was your feeling at that time, regardless of the pain that you had? What was the truth in your heart? Were you this afraid girl? Did you see hope?
At that time, I think I had faith. Not I think, I had faith that I was going to walk. So if anyone told me that I was going to lose my limb, tungekosana. Because me, I knew I was not going to lose my leg. I was going to walk. So in case anyone who would have at least come and said, Kuomba, and tell me that God is going to work things, it's okay. But when somebody comes and tell me that I'm going to lose my leg, no, I'm like, no, I have faith.
And this
God
all
is going
this
to heal
time,
me.
you know, your appointment inaekwa ina bounce,
In
you
a
know.
bounce. Yeah, inaekwa in a bounce. And
Ikibounce unafurahia ama hata uelewi.
Ikibounce niko like, sasa tena, what is the problem? You get much confused because
And still you know that your appointment ni ya ku lose your leg.
hii appointment ni okay, my mind iko imeenda naenda ku lose my leg. Hii appointment ni wanaenda kutoa some specimen.
The whatever thing.
Yeah, waende wapime. So my mind is in nangoja results. Nataka ningoje results.
Okay.
So I was not like atinaenda ku lose my leg. No, I was like, let them go do whatever they're supposed to be doing and give me what is really the problem.
What was your mom at this time? What is your mom's view when, or rather your parents, when she had that? Now this is the situation. This is the real of the matter, you know.
Oh, with my dad is a very humble guy. Yeah, really understanding. So with him, he was like, let us just believe in God, something will happen. With my mom, it never came in terms with it because he was like, no, something can still happen. And
it's still early.
Yeah, it's still early.
Yeah. So you and your mom, same page?
Yeah, same page. we had that strong belief that something can happen.
Which is good, and something happened, you know?
Yeah, we had something.
You wanted to walk, and you came here walking.
Yeah, and
she
I came here walking,
you know? Yeah,
Yeah, so we knew that something was going to happen. So until, again, we had to reschedule for another appointment again to go for operation. And this time I was told that there's no blood in the bank. that is the third time. Now people are like,
why are we laughing
what's wrong with you?
You know?
You know, it was funny because you go, you come back,
now it's funny, then it wasn't.
Yeah, now you know, now it's getting like, people are like, Judy, what's wrong with you?
Every time there's an appointment, something
comes up. So my cousin, by then my cousin Collins was at UN, so he had to come, miss his classes, and go and donate me blood. So he just came very fast because we are type O. So he came very fast and donated the blood for me. So we had to wait again for another appointment again.
Yeah, because that one could not happen. They had to screen the blood.
And now is it ready? Now we can now go.
Now another appointment. Okay.
Now the guy who was to take me the first day
to be serious,
came to take me again, and he was like, msichana, umevumilia. Let us hope this time I won't take you back. But I take you back if hizi vitu zote zimeisha. So we were like, yeah, naamini. So we just went with him at the reception area where you're being taken from one stretcher to another stretcher. Yeah, so the process went, and I got inside, and I was like, well, let me now, today we are going to know what is really happening to me. Yeah, so at that point, the reception wasn't that good because the doctor whom I found there knew my history and my denial on losing my leg.
Okay.
Yeah, and the fight of me, I'm not going to get amputated. So he was like, even if your dad is so rich and you even go in US or somewhere, your leg will still be amputated.
So you better come to terms with that.
So you better come to terms with that. And it was very harsh.
Wow.
And at that time,
Sile ya kubembeleza.
Sile ya kubembeleza.
Hata uende majuu, whatever you do, we have to amputate your leg.
You have to amputate your leg.
Judy, that one, I don't know. Let us take a very short break. We come back and pick on that. And no, ilifanyika haikufanyika. You know, I am also yearning to know what happened next. So let us take a very short break and then we come back.
Everywhere, GBS.
Hello, we are back here, still continuing with this good conversation, and we are listening to the story of Judy, and she's a woman who has ventured into leadership. Politics is something that she takes and she's good in it. And behind that, she has a story that she has been narrating to us, and we are all very yearning, and you know, we really want to know what happened next. And after that, this woman you have become, you have to tell us how you know, because it's your life changed, and the way it changed, I can say it's for the better, and because it has brought out a woman who is, you know, if we can put a strength of a woman in a person, it's you, you know. Judy, you're here, and now we have postponed all those appointments. Which one that happened?
No, the last appointment when I got in, and where the reception was not that soft. Yeah, so the guy was like, you have to undergo this. So I really felt uncomfortable. So, and you know, because the operation was to be done on my leg, on my limb. So the medicine that I was supposed to be injected was nusu, kutoka kwa kiuno hadi chini for guys. So when the injection was done on me, I was not now able to feel my legs. After 2 minutes, I was able to feel my legs. And then the doctor was like, kwani unanichezea? And I was like, yeah, I was not feeling my leg after the injection, but now I'm feeling my leg. Okay. Me, I don't know what has happened. And he was so angry. It felt like maybe I was lying. Okay. And it was true, I was not feeling my leg. So I just had to go. So they said that they know how they'll work on it. So that is when I went to the procedures, and the operation took a longer time than it was, and I was so much unease until the time when I passed out. And when I came back, I found, when I was back again, I found doctors were all around me, and people were asking questions, and everyone was talking. So when they noticed that I was awake, they stopped talking. Okay. Yeah, and one asked me. And you're still in theater? Yeah, I'm still in theater. So in theater was supposed to take about less than 20 minutes. Yeah, but I think it was less than 20 minutes. You know, okay. It was not supposed to be. I thought it's hours. No, it was not supposed to be quite long. Yeah, because but it was now it's more simple. Than even but an now hour? It's more than an hour. And it's hours now. And
sa hizo umelazwa nusu?
Nimelazwa nusu.
Alafu uka-converse?
Nika-converse na nikarudi. Okay. So kurudi nikapata damu inaongezwa na syringe, manini inaongezwa huku, maji inaongezwa this other side. Like my hands are just like totally full. And they are like doing everything very in a hurry because I was bleeding so much. And the lady was there, was like, no, this lady, before everything happened, I was like, yeah, I'm having a patient who is very stubborn. You are supposed to go. I think she was supposed to go out or something, but now the operation came, and I was like, you are enjoying, I'm here. Like, I really felt bad, but after sometimes I had to release her. Yeah. So after that, everything happened, and now here came a point where I was overbleeding. They tried stopping the bleeding, but it was hard. So the only solution here was to amputate my limb. Okay. Yeah. So after that long, they tried everything to stop the bleeding, but it was not able. They were not able to stop. And you are losing a lot of blood. And I'm losing a lot of blood. I'm pale now. So they had to call my mom. My mom just reached the ward, and she knew that she was going to find me there, but I was not there. So she had to come in the theater, where where, you know, it's only the patient who gets in the theater, but now she had to come. Okay. So she came, and she was told to convince me. Doctors were there, tried convincing me. I remember there was Dr. Judith, same name as me, who really tried convincing me, until a point I was saying that it's okay, I'll go. And because I really felt like, now you see, like, it's either I die with my leg, or I just let my leg go and I leave. You leave. Yeah. So that was the only solution I was given. So I just had to let it go and accept. But I told them that this time, please, I just need to sleep. I don't want to see anything. Just let me sleep. Just let me sleep and do your work, because I was now tired.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you had waited for a long time.
I waited for a long time. So the same day, I had 2 injections.
Oh my God.
So I had to sleep. It happened in the same day. So that is the time when I felt like I was going to die. Everything stopped. People thought that I was going to die. My mom was so much confused. A friend had to come. The late Mama Belinda really helped us a lot. And everything was like, everyone was confused because they felt like they were going now to lose me after all this long journey of healing. Yeah, but I thank God.
And then you're now out of theater. How long did you take to come back?
To come back,
you know, ulisema wakulaze, sindio? They did a complete. Then how long? After how long did you ukaanza kujisikia?
I don't know how many hours I took there, but when I woke up, I was alone, and there has to be a nurse around there at the recovery room, and I was like looking, and I said, "Is anyone here?" Then the doctor came.
Wow.
Yeah. So he just came and looked at me and told me, "You are okay. You can now go to the ward." And I felt relief. You know, that leg was so huge, and during all this time you've been working with the leg, that you are feeling so much pain. You are not comfortable. And for the first time, I was able to sleep using my back, and I really felt light. Yeah.
And now that is how, so from where? From your knee or?
Above the knee.
Above the knee.
Yeah.
Wow. And you, according to you, you know, after you were very stubborn, you did not want to lose your leg. After that, you felt a relief.
Yeah.
And it was the best, we can say that.
Yeah, it was now the best.
Yeah.
Because after that, I gained some weight. At least I was now strong. Yeah, but there was a reality behind that.
You came back, you went back to school. Now that one brings me to this question. There's this woman I'm seeing here who is very strong and, you know, representing the best of the best part of a woman that you would want to be. How did you come to this? Because, you know, before the amputation, you were this person, you know, you calling normal. And now you did not even want to lose your leg. Now you've lost your leg and the world has changed. How did you manage to handle the world, the new world?
The new world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thank God for the journey, because it was a journey where I went through pain. The journey where I had to lose something that I never wanted to lose it. And now this is the journey where after losing whatever I lose in my leg, now I had to stand tall and face the world. Yeah. After that, I was a bit hungry, but my mom kept telling me that keep on praying so that the anger can come out of you. And now, at least now I was able to interact with my peers. I was able to talk. I was able to at least have some fun. Yeah. A lot of people who were around me helped me a lot into change.
And showed you much love.
Yeah, showed me the love. Yeah, and I felt like I can do something. Now, after all this journey, there's a courage that came. Came with it. Me coming up, I was never that courageous woman. I was so shy. But here came somebody who is so much courageous and who is able to speak out. And I'm like, this is what I want and this is what I'm going for. Regardless of what, I will have to achieve this.
And you knew you were born a leader.
And I knew I was born a leader.
Now you've come, umeenda shule.
Yeah.
Uko sasa hauna mguu. And by the after how long did you decide now to have the
limb?
Yeah, the artificial leg.
The artificial leg. I think I took around 6-7 months. Then I had because they had to wait until the place is ill enough, ndio nikivaa mguu nisikuwe na infection.
Okay.
Yeah, so when everything is okay, they do some test, and then that is when I was able to be given the limb so that I can use it. So when I began my Form 1, I was having my 2 crutches. Yeah, okay. I went with 2 crutches, then later on, in second term, now I was having the limb. Yeah.
Is it easy for the first time when you're having it on?
For the first time working with it was a bit hard, but with time I came to get used to it, because I was used to using the 2 crutches. I felt like I was so faster than now when I'm having the limb. So later on I got to be comfortable with it and learn. It's like you are learning, like a kid is learning how to walk, so you are also being taught how to walk.
Yeah. Wow. And now you've finished and you've come to, you're now a leader.
Yeah.
How have people been treating even before they know you? How, yeah, the most big challenge that you've had, giving in mind that you're this person who have changed, you know, even your courage and even the view of life has changed.
Has changed.
How have been, what has been your biggest challenge?
The biggest, you know, when somebody comes from that cruel part of life, that painful part of life, you come out with a certain maturity in it. So you see things in a very different perspective. So when you come out, you can reason on things and people feel like, no, you are overstepping or something. So me coming out and you having the courage, you also want to interact with people because there are several times where I felt denied and people are like, okay, somebody can do something or a bash and exempt you in it. So I felt it's like, why are you doing this? I can also do this. Or sometimes people are playing and somebody feels like you can't do this. And I'm like, who told you I can't?
Ask me.
Ask me first, yeah.
Before you come to
conclusion, you need to ask me first. Because somebody sees you and feels like you can't do this, who told you I can't? So it came with a lot of courage in it. So I think all this journey, all these being so much ready to accepting what is going to happen molded me into being somebody who is very courageous and very positive. Because I'm kind of a person, when we say like, let us do this, somebody who tries telling me like, yes, it happened and I know that this thing can happen. No, you need to be positive for the first thing, for something to happen. You try, do it, and when it fails, try again something else. So it made me to be somebody who is so courageous, because when I also came out that I want to be a student leader, people are like, how are you going to be a student leader and you are not physically fit? Somebody also said it, and somebody even said when we were in a group, like, tunataka student leader mwenye is physically fit. Okay. So I was like, I felt the pain, and I just was like, I rebelled away and I said like, okay, this thing I'm going to do it alone. And they'll just hear that Judith is right.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think out of everything that I've gone through, it has molded me into being this courageous person.
There's a bit of you that I'm getting, which I like, that even if people are showing you the other side that you don't want to see, you know, they are treating you not the way you feel you should be treated. You take that as a positive thing, because I think if you had taken it negative, you wouldn't be where you are. Because many people take it and then they start hiding, they start finding their own cocoon where they want to hide, they don't want to express themselves. But according to you, it has been like the motivator, you know. Semeni ingine ndio,
because I find like if somebody says something like, Judith haezi, iyo haezi makes me even niweze sana. Because
I want to prove.
I want to prove this thing can happen.
I'm fit.
You feel like, you know, most of people who are differently able, somebody feels like, I can't go, I can't do it, or how will people think of me, or no. As long as I'm doing the right thing, let me do it.
You try it, you fail, you try it
until you succeed in it. Because the only thing that people, you don't need to have the fear of failing. No, have the fear of trying.
Which is you know, many people have fear of failing. And that is why they would never want to try.
They will never want to try.
I don't want to try because I don't want to fail.
I don't want to fail. Or I don't want to speak because somebody might think this of me. No, you speak it. If you never expressed it well, you will learn from that. Because the only thing me I always feel, be so much terrified of not trying, but be so much courageous of at least trying something. You tried it and you failed it and you make another step.
Wow, that is so nice. And now it brings me to, why are you vying? How did you come to that conclusion? You know, but anyway, I wouldn't be surprised because the spirit behind you is the best. How did you think of even
of me trying to buy? I was like, okay, before I was still looking around and I was like, let me first finish up with my education, which I was going to my degree level, which I was going to complete in December. So I never went very fast to look for attachment because by now I would have already started my attachment.
Okay.
I just needed a bit of January to think on what do I really want, who am I? So I was like, I'm a leader.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, why don't you go to the you be a lecturer or something smooth that will not make you strain. And I was like, I've strained for this all year. You know, the most interesting part is that the first term of my reign being the chairperson, I had a spine injury. Yeah. So during that time, I was in the house for, at least it was that time for Corona. So nothing. So
at least there was some advantage.
Yes, there was some advantage. I did my online classes, so advantage for me. At least I never missed the semester.
Yeah.
But I was in pain for the entire month. So when I came back, I was on pain, but I'm still working.
Okay.
I was working, I was here, I was there, I was making sure that everything is right. But at night, I'm going through pain. So that also made me feel like there's something in me, there's fire burning in me.
That so you can't stop.
I can't stop.
Nothing can stop it, not even pain.
Nothing can stop it, not even word that will make me stop this. And
you're bringing the position of a woman in that society very well.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting for it.
You're fighting for it. You know, being a woman, I've always believed, you know, my upbringing, my mom and my Aunt Val, she's always that woman that very fast. You need to do this, you need to do this and make things good, you see. So, you know, being around these women who are very strong also molds me.
Wow.
You see, you're not supposed just to sit for the entire day, oh, me, I'm sick, or me, I can't do this. No.
So that is the woman we want.
That is the woman.
That is the woman we need when we are beginning.
Yeah, when we are beginning. That is a woman who can still do her house chores and who can still do her career and who can still face the world. Wow. Because when you come outside there, the men won't smile with you.
They won't, especially
because they also need whatever they need.
When you become a competitor, it's now even hard.
It's now even harder. Yeah, you see.
Mwanamke asimame.
Mwanamke lazima asimame. You see.
You fight for your position in the society.
For your position in the society. Because, you know, I'm also brought up in a family setup. We also value family. Yeah. Because you're like, a woman can do multiple things.
Yeah, we can.
You can do multiple things. You can still bring up the family. You can still go and chase your career, you know, you still.
I really love the position you've taken, you know, and every woman as we are beginning or commencing this year, I feel this is how we should start it, you know, in style. How, like every negative thing that comes towards me, I take it, I change it as a positive thing, and then it becomes a motivator. It pushes me in front. I get what I want.
You get what you want.
I never stop to fight because that is who I feel.
That is because me, whatever I feel, every second counts. Every courage that you have counts a lot. Because there's I've learned that there's nobody who will come and tell you, oh, pole, sijui kaa chini. No, you will never.
Kama anakuambia ukae chini ni hawezi fanya hii. They don't want you to do it for you to go somewhere.
To go somewhere. Yeah. You know, when you see that I can't do this, you won't do it.
Sometimes it's not also good to have sympathy, I think, because they will even want you to be somewhere stagnant instead of raising and telling you can do it. We need those people.
Because you feel like, you know, even when you go to a matatu, somebody, achi I'm mgonjwa, I'm not sick.
I'm not.
I'm just challenged in somewhere. I'm not sick, I'm just challenged somewhere. Wow. And you're like, no, I can do this, I can work. Somebody, I think there's a time I was trying to board a bus and does, unaweza ruka hapo, unaweza pita hapo. I was like, ngoja.
I'll show you.
Like, okay, let us go.
No, I did it. Wow, thank you so much, Judy. Because of time, we are going to cut this very nice conversation. But I've really learned a lot from you, and as a woman, as we begin this year, we really need to fight for this position where nothing that can make me back off, you know. I'm moving forward, and there's really nothing, not even pain, you know, that can stop me do what I want to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Before we end, let's have some questions. Let's play a game. Within 3 seconds.
Okay.
If you are to marry today, name 3 places you want to go.
Ooh. Highlands. And you're in the Highlands. Coast region.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in UK.
Time is up. Give us 3 nicknames people have for you.
Oh, bulldozer. Too much courage, too much Judy, the bully.
You are?
I don't know why they say that. I think it's because having that courage and coming out, somebody feels alafu, yeah, being the leader, you're too much leadership.
Who is your role model in politics now that you want to go to politics?
Yeah, it's Milo Dembo and Martha Karua.
I knew, I thought so. Tell us maybe 3 things you would wish people knew more about you.
Okay, about me. I'm a very loving person. Yeah, I love cooking and I love staying around family.
Do you have a boyfriend?
I'm still single.
Waliniambia nikuulize. So I had to ask that before I ended the show.
No.
Judy, thank you so much for joining. It was really nice. That was just, you know, what a conversation. The one you still want to hear more from.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. Say bye to the viewer because time really, hata tunaambiwa tutoke.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, the viewer. Thank you so much, my team and my school, Kennedy Women's University. We are also still doing the intake. It's a pure women institution.
Wow.
Very good in the academics part, very good in the leadership part.
Wow.
Welcome.
Thank you. Viewer, thank you so much for tuning in. Mpaka sahi, thank you so much. So much love from me, by the way. I've been your host, Shiro Wangige. Still keep this conversation running. Our social media handle, I remind you before I walk out, we are GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. It's always a very nice day and a good thing when I'm here tuned in with you and even reading your comments. Even if I don't get time to read them loud, still know that I appreciate everything. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.